Can you see?
Yes, I can see.
Okay. Let's understand the architecture first. Okay, how it works and open a notepad, pen.
Can you please record the session? I mean, I hope you're already recording it.
Yeah, already I'm recording it.
Okay, thank you.
You want to record the session? You can start. It will be good for you only. Let me.
Yeah, but it says it will
Yeah,
require your permission, right?
yeah. Now you can record.
So I'll get a file on my system itself.
Yeah, you can start. I'll give you access to allow a record
Yeah.
session. Now you can able to record.
Okay.
Okay, so let's understand the architecture first. Okay, so how Dynatrace works.
Okay.
Very difficult to write, but I can manage. So Dynatrace architecture. Okay. So first you in SaaS. First we are taking SaaS. Okay. SaaS means software as a service. So something like a Gmail that you are using, yeah, Outlook you are using, anything, right? Yeah, Outlook 365. You are not installing Outlook server or everything, right? Just you are creating an account and start using the service, their service, right? What kind of service they use to provide. In say Gmail, then sending an email, receiving an email, and they have associated with some G Drive, all those things, right? The same way, Dynatrace SaaS, Dynatrace server. Okay, so Gmail once will create account, they will give you associated with one server. Okay, in that there will be some space, all those things. But same way in Dynatrace SaaS, Dynatrace server. Suppose this is a DT server. Okay, this is a one component. Okay, will be hosted on Dynatrace cloud environment. Okay, so this is a DT server hosted in Dynatrace. This is your Dynatrace cloud environment. Okay. Okay, it is connected with web UI. Okay, so web UI means just you can see the Dynatrace SaaS portal, like you are taking a 14-day trial. So that is a web UI. Okay,
Mhm.
now we have, you can say, one agent. You heard about that, right?
Yes.
Okay, so this is the one agent. So one agent will be installed on the server. Okay, either you can say app server or web server. Okay, so this is not technology perspective like Java, .NET, PHP, Node.js, Golang, Python. This is a environment perspective. So agent can be installed on Windows, Linux, Solaris, and AIX systems only. If this kind of environment system we do have, OS we have, we can install the agents. Mostly it will cover. Okay, if you will take Linux, then it will come AIX, Amazon, some Linux, Red Hat, Ubuntu, Windows, all Windows 2016, 18, 20. Solaris, few. This is a very old server, few company, and AIX. AX already is there. Then AX we have here. AX similar like Linux only. So these are the environments we can install the agents. Okay, Windows, Linux, Solaris, and AX environment. Okay. Once you have
Okay.
a
So
stop.
these are technology independent, right? I mean,
Yeah,
it
yeah,
has
yeah.
nothing
This is
to
the
do with any sort of.
so on the Windows server, suppose any .NET application is running. Okay, so we need to install Windows agents on the environment because we have Windows server, right? I'll install Windows agent. Only one agent. Apart from that, like to capture the application data, infrastructure data, everything, just we install the one agent. Okay. I will discuss later on the what is a mode. There are two types of mode also, that is infra mode and full stack mode. That will discuss in a while. But just you understand that on the any server, we need to consider as a this is what kind of OS it is. If it is the Windows, we'll install Windows agent. If it is Linux, we'll install Linux agent. Come Linux agent. If it is AX, I'll AX Solaris Solaris. That's it. Okay. So one agent will send the data to DT cloud. Okay.
Okay.
and DT cloud will collect the data, so it will take a via 443 port. So one
So
agent
these
to
are different people using one agents. Is it like that? What we are
different.
trying to show?
here
We have
here
create.
here we are suppose this is a one agent, right? So one agent will be installed on machine, right? Target applications. So you can say
Okay,
this
okay,
is a,
with
this is a
different machines.
this is at the different OS, different machines. Okay, running some applications, right? On top of that. So this is the different machine, and we have installed the agents, and one agent send to DT Cloud uh, all the data, right? One agent has to send the data, right? So one agent will send the data to DT Cloud. It is 443. That one agent to SaaS cluster. One
Okay, so one agent has to be installed on, say, one application has four servers, so it has
uh,
to be installed on each one of them.
yeah, correct. So one
Okay,
agent, okay. So one agent sent to DT cluster via port 443. Okay. So some of the IP should be whitelisted. So you can, I will show you one second. You'll get some more hot idea. Let's log in. You can see, right? Deploy Dynatrace. Start installation. So you can see, right? We can install that on Windows, Linux, AIX, Solaris, and they have added ZOS. Okay, this is the mainframe and AWS Lambda. But in server share, you can take only AIX, Solaris, Windows, and Linux. Okay. Now, what I'm trying to say is, okay. So once it is installed on the server, it will be capture all the informations. Okay, automatically. Now,
okay.
if I open the Linux, I was trying to say the port. Okay, you can see that this IP, right?
Mm-hmm.
This IP has to be whitelisted. Okay, so whenever you are opening, okay, so one agent will be your target host, right? So that there is
Okay,
always there will be some firewall restrictions, some BPC, right? And everything. So if all this data will be in run in through some network, right? And it does not sense if you'll open the port 443. So what is that source IP? What is the destination IP? Whenever you will say to cloud team to open that port 443, they'll ask you, right? What is your source IP? What is your destination IP? So the source IP will be always your host machine IP, right? So this is your
mm-hmm.
source. So I said to you one agent to DT cluster, DT SaaS cluster 443. But you need to understand that one agent. So what is source IP? So source IP will be your host machine IP. Okay, this is your source IP. Okay, host machine IP. So this server has to this cluster to pass the data. So there will be host, there will be IP, right? 10.90 something. There will be some IP, right? So this IP to this IP. Okay. So from this one, this is your host machine IP and DT cloud environment. This IP has to be whitelisted. So you need to, while installing itself, you can see here, right? To access the Dynatrace at current location, please outgoing connection. So this IP should be whitelisted. This two IP should be whitelisted. Then only if there is a network restriction, so once you whitelisted this IP, then you can able to send the data. Yeah, Dynatrace will receive. Otherwise, this
So
IP will.
this IP should be whitelisted on that. I mean, added a setting to the firewall or
Yeah, yeah, correct,
on.
correct. In the firewall setting, these are the IP should be
So
open.
this IP on this IP, communication would be outbound. I mean, this IP would be used to send messages outside that server.
Yeah. So this IP, so if it is a two IP, right? Yeah, four IP. If you will take some, that depend. If I'll take some other, if I'll take AIX, so here we have a two IP. So sometimes what they will do is, so there is a four IP, five IP should be whitelisted. Then they will check that fully FQDN. You know FQDN?
I'm not sure about that.
What is so in cloud there is called concept is called fully qualified
Okay,
domain name,
domain name.
right? So these are the
Okay.
IP is pointing to one FQDN, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they will internally they will find out FQDN details, and they can map that FQDN. So they will not go to map each and every IP, right? So if it is a 10 IP, they need to insert the 10 IP. So better avoiding that the time saving, right? So just they will insert FQDN details. Okay. So then you can see the data on web UI. In Dynatrace, you can connect through API also. REST API. Okay, so let me show you the architecture. Now you can understand somewhat. Okay, you can see one agent is installing on the host machine. Okay, so this is the pass level. Okay,
Okay.
so Bash, yeah, container. So here installing the agents on host level. You can see if is a container is you can see this is they have simplified the architecture. So you can see one agent will if it is a Bash container also, yeah, if normal host also, it will install the one agent on the target host. Okay, and it will connect via 443. Okay, you can see here,
Mhm.
right? 443 directly, and it is connecting to there's a firewall that already we have discussed that what are the things need to be open, and it is connected to DT SaaS cluster, right?
Okay.
Okay, so once you install the agents, okay, now you are taking, you can see that there is a port 9999 is connecting to ActiveGate, and then ActiveGate is connecting to firewall that I am discussing right now. I'm going to discuss right now, but you hope you understood, right? So how the agent will be installed on the server, and via 443 it will connect to DT Dynatrace SaaS cluster. Okay, that is very simple. Okay, so
Okay.
all the
And
machine,
we do not have to, I mean, we have not yet started discussing the installation of the agent, right? You've just
just
on the
just
part of making
just I'm
connection.
saying, giving you the architecture level that slowly
Okay.
you'll
Okay.
go, right?
Right.
So
Right. Right. Sure.
okay, so now you understood, right? Now one agent, so one agent, if you don't have so direct communicate, how it's communicate to DT SaaS cluster, what are the things you can see? Okay, now let's move to one step deeper. Okay, now if you have environment activates, okay, so one agent will install. So here we have uh, Dynatrace SaaS cluster. This is your Dynatrace SaaS cluster. Okay, this is
Mm-hmm.
your Dynatrace SaaS cluster. One agent is installed on each and every much target host. Okay, this is your machine. Okay, and this is one agent. Okay, so one agent is installed on target host. Okay, now there is one more component. Okay, there is one more component is called environment activate. Just I'm writing here. You can note it down if you have environment activate. Okay,
Okay.
so what does it mean? What is the use of environment activate? So environment activate is used for multiple purpose. Okay, first you can route the traffic. So if I install environment activate, so first I need to, there's a one component. Okay, additional component. The Dynatrace server also is a one component. This is DT server is also one component, but it is hosted on Dynatrace cloud environment. Whenever you're taking on premise, they'll give you that component to install on your data center. Okay, when we'll discuss that managed architecture. Okay, give me a minute. So environment activate. So environment activate. If I'll open the here you can see when an environment activate needed consolidation and compression of one agent traffic. So if you want to route the traffic, you don't want to pass directly to the SaaS cluster. There is a lot of network issue. Then what you can do is you can install. So this is one machine. Okay, we have installed environment activate.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is we have installed environment activate. So one agent will send the data to environment activate. Okay,
Okay.
via port 9999. Okay.
Okay.
So hope you remember. So again, you will send this data to this data, right? Again, there will be some port. Port should be open from source to destination, right? Always
Okay.
you should, yeah. So for to open that, which port should open, right? So whenever you are thinking this kind of okay, so which port? So you go to that install activate, take the environment, any Windows or Linux. You can see right. This IP should be whitelisted.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
same way. Same way. So okay. So this just I'm discussing one agent to environment activate. It will
So
that port 999
what
should
is the
be.
basic difference between that, our existing setup or 443 and this? I mean,
Yeah,
how different it
yeah,
is?
yeah. Now environment activate to Dynatrace SaaS cluster 443.
Okay.
Okay, now you want to understand why we have added environment activate. Existing setup we can direct communication to SaaS cluster. Okay. Now
Mm-hmm.
environment activate is used for multiple purpose. Okay. If you want to take memory first step is if you want to route the traffic. Okay.
Okay.
So okay. So let's give you one. Okay. So for environment activate used for multiple purpose. First one is consolidation and compression of one agent traffic. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
they'll take all the data and they will send to. So once you have activate, all the data went to activate. Activate will collect all the data, and based on that, they will pass to Dynatrace SaaS cluster. So there will be, you can say there is something gateway or something like that. So it will collect all the information and send it to Dynatrace cluster. There will be some compression and consolidation. The traffic they will manage. Okay. In that
Okay.
also you can add some HA and all that we'll discuss.
Deepak,
Yeah.
Deepak, yeah, yeah, your voice is breaking. I mean, let me just reboot the Wi-Fi. If you just allow me a minute, okay? Some network issue.
From your
Just
side?
1 minute. Yeah, my side, my side.
Okay.
Just give me a minute. Wi-Fi. Hello, hello, hello.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. Okay. So we were discussing in installation of ActiveGate. So what
Hmm.
I've understood as of now is we already have a normal setup wherein we connect with Dynatrace SaaS cluster via 443.
Hmm.
Okay, and
Hmm.
now we have just added a layer of ActiveGate
There's
and
one. There's
on a separate port.
Yeah. So this is the additional component you can say. Active you can say this is the additional component. Or if you need this kind of informations, okay, if you want to manage, suppose you want to compress the traffic, there's too much traffic on Dynatrace, you don't want to pass directly to DT cluster, so you can add environment activate to compress the traffic, calculate and compress the traffic. If you want to have
So
cloud
what
platform,
benefit would you have to compress the traffic? I mean, how does it, I mean, matter to me? I mean, if there is a lot of information on Dynatrace chart,
okay,
would it
no,
make much difference?
yeah. Uh, See, if you have suppose like you don't want to pass the information directly to DT. See, if anyway DT SaaS cluster is in Dynatrace environment.
Hmm.
Just you think they can steal your data if there is too much traffic in your applications. Okay, and sometimes it happen, right? If that there's what is your expectation? Okay, whenever you based on your it will go beyond of the expectation that server went down, right? Anyway, this is a Dynatrace responsibility, but you don't want to pass the traffic directly. Okay, there's a mechanism to compress the one agent traffic in ActiveGate. So they have inbuilt that, so you can compress the traffic. So they will give you the recommended. Okay, this is the ActiveGate recommended. If you are using, it will be good for you. Okay, suppose you have
So won't it affect the, I mean, performance of Dynatrace and its representation of
yeah,
data?
yeah, yeah, somewhat. It will be affect somewhat. Okay, if it is a huge traffic in your application side and directly you are sending the data. If you are compressing, then they'll give you that. Okay, you use environment activity to compress the traffic and so slowly they'll push the traffic. Okay, then other thing, if you want to integrate cloud platform, most of the organization they are using either Azure, AWS, yeah, VMware, and Pivotal Cloud Foundry. Yeah, Kubernetes. These are the in the cloud platform. You want to integrate Dynatrace with these are the cloud platform. You should have the ActiveGate. Then only you can integrate. Second, third, if you want to take any extensions, plugins, DB insights, these are the things. If you are again, so suppose you have developed some plugin. Okay, so some of the metrics is not capturing automatically. Okay, so what you did is you have developed one plugin to fetch that. Just you consider as a you heard about that messaging queue. Okay, that queue level
Hmm.
monitoring. Okay, JMX queue, something like that. Okay, Java messaging queue like consumer current count, message consumer message pending count, right? This kind of informations you want to configure, and you want to create a custom alert and define some threshold value. Based on that, you should have that alert again. So for that, you need to develop a plugins. You need to upload the plugins, all those things, and then you want to configure a monitoring. Configure a custom alert for this. Okay. For that also you should have that environment active. Now we come to the private synthetic location. Do you know synthetic monitoring? You heard about that?
Uh,
Yeah. Okay.
yes, it's like one user who's monitoring across the anywhere across the globe and monitoring live traffic, something like that, right?
No. Synthetic monitoring is like you can suppose there's a two types of monitoring. One is URL monitoring. Just you can say ping status. Ping means availability of URL. So URL endpoint there. Suppose you have some application main URL, right? And you would like to understand that. I want to understand that availability of URL. Okay, so if this URL went down, then surely there is application went down, right? So I would like to understand that. URL availability. So in synthetic, what we can configure is HTTP monitoring, just URL monitoring. They will, so I will schedule the jobs, okay, from some of the locations. Like so most of this application used by only US, okay, so I'll give that US some of the regions. If it is in Canada, I'll give the Canada. If it is India, I will give India. If it is Singapore, yeah, somewhere, okay, you can give that, okay, maximum 200 location you can select. The next point, so Dynatrace will give the default synthetic location to run the script, okay, but I want it to be in custom private synthetic location. That management want some of that synthetic locations are not there in the listed. Yeah, I don't want to run from their location. I want to run from my locations, private locations. Again, you should have that environment activate to configure private synthetic location. Okay. If you want to take memory dumps, CPU sampling, like there will sometimes you'll have some memory issue profiling, memory profiling you have, right? You know that
Mm-hmm.
memory dump, why it is required, like each process how much memory is consuming. You want to do some
Right, right.
deep dive analysis.
Garbage collection and
Yeah,
memory leaks and everything.
yeah. So that time is required memory dumps, right? That time also you should have that. You should have environment activate, then only you can take memory dump. Are you getting my point?
So memory dump is not provided by SaaS cluster, DT SaaS
So
cluster.
if you are take directly connected 443 to DT SaaS cluster, you cannot take memory dump. It will ask you to install configure environment activate.
Okay.
Understood? Okay. So these are the
Okay.
things that environment activate you can see. You can use that. So there's a multiple purpose, right? So 99% that is a single percent or 2% organization that are not using activate. Most of the organizations they should use it, right? Because these are these things is required, right? Suppose you don't want to compress the traffic, that's fine. You would like to integrate this one also, right? If it is required, you should do that. Now again, some requirement comes to monitor some GMX queue. Then now that Dynatrace team has to develop some plugins or something, right? Extension. And they need to deploy. Again, is the required activate. If you want to configure private synthetic locations, that management want to run that synthetic from some of the private location, again it is required. If you want to take some memory profiling, memory dumps and all, it is required. So most of the organization they're using it. Okay. So this is the additional component of environment activate. Hope it is clear.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Understood?
So this setup is also done on application servers.
Which setup?
The active gate installation.
ActiveGate you need to install on dedicated VMs. Okay. I'll show you that. Okay. Just the second page. So you can see ActiveGate is requirement 64-bit virtual machine, physically a virtual, two virtual CPU RAM, 2 virtual CPU, 4 GB RAM, 2 GB hard drive. Minimum. Okay, is required. Okay, to install the
Mm-hmm.
environment ActiveGate. Okay, so environment ActiveGate will install on the dedicated VM. Okay, suppose you have 4 server. Okay, you have one
Mm-hmm.
application running on 4 server. So on the 4 server that's running, so this application has 50 service. Then might have 5 service running on one server, remaining 5 servers are running on another server, and they have that equally connected all those things. So that's we can do some ping status from this server to that server. You can all those things you are able to do that. So all the services are connected, right? Now, so you have installed the agents. Now you want so that applications running on AWS, yeah, Azure, and you want to integrate Dynatrace with AWS. So what you need to do is you need to spin up one more VM. You need to install environment activate there, and then That port has to be open 9999. That source to destination, already told you that, and that it has opened. So one agent will send the data to directly. Now automatically it is pointed to environment activator. Environment activator will send the data to DT cluster. Okay, this is the way automatically it will follow once you open the port and all. Because whenever you are installing the agents, environment activator, and this is the let's take activate. So whenever you are installing the agents, so you cannot install the agents from like community, like AppD. You are downloading the agents from community, right? Means
Okay.
from portal, right? That App Dynamics log into that community portal. You are downloading the agents and then you are running in your server, right? But here,
Mm-hmm.
everything you should be using on your tenant only. This is a tenant perspective. Okay,
Okay.
this is your tenant. Uh, if you copy this script from my tenant, it will connect to my tenant. Are you getting my point?
Okay.
This is the
Okay.
script. This script is tenant perspective. Okay, if I go to start installation.
So I always need to have one additional server apart from the existing application server
Hmm, correct.
to have the active. So I mean, I'm just trying to understand the architecture here. Say for
Hmm,
example, it's a three-tier application.
hmm,
There are two web server, two
hmm,
application, and two DB.
hmm.
Now I require monitoring of all. Okay.
Okay, so all the
So
serve
or
first.
say
Uh,
application server only. So where
no,
I'm supposed to keep it between a web and app.
no, listen. Okay, listen. Okay, so you have three-tier applications. We have two web server. You add some load balancer also. Okay, okay. So you have some load balancer. Then you have a two web server. Then app server, and you have some database, right? Now you need to install agent on the two app server, two web server, and DB. If you are willing to see in DB level monitoring, we are not going to insert the agent on inside the DB. So DB will be installed on your top of the server, right? So suppose this is my laptop, I'll install database in my system. That is same thing is happening in there, right? So they will spin up some Windows 2020 18 VMs, and they'll install database based on their requirement, either Oracle, yeah, SQL, yeah, Postgre, or something like that, right? Yeah, MongoDB. So on the DB level monitor, we are not going to install the agents on inside the database. We are going to install the agent on the server, also on your laptop, on your machine level, right? So on the DB, if you install the agents also, it will monitor your uh, server infrastructures mode only, that monitors only CPU, memory, network, disk, and process. They are not monitored database as a service. But in that, whenever the transactions is correlate with database, something you are hitting on your web browser, right? It will go to some of the service, and then it will reach to database, storing in database. So that is happen automatically. That database captured in your environment. Are you getting my point?
Okay, so you're saying it is automatically app is automatically fetching data from DB, so it will show the metrics for database
Yeah.
on
So when yeah,
app level servers
monitor.
as well.
Yeah. So whenever you are installing the agent, so you need to install on the two web server and two app server. We are not going to
So it
install the
will show every query and everything, things like
yeah.
query and
Whenever user hits any transaction hits and it is going with database, yeah, is fetching the information from database. Like something is going to store, yeah, something is going to fetch from the database. All right.
so
Some
is
you
it successful in telling which table has not been done indexing on, or which stored is any query taking time or stored
yeah,
process or
yeah, yeah,
something?
yeah. All the informations you can able to see if that some transaction is going to store in database. Yeah, some transaction going to fetch the information from database. It is happening, then it will show you in your Dynatrace portal. But if you are willing, if you have that license, and your management allowed to install the agents on DB server also, you can install this. But best practice, we are not recommending that install the agent on DB server, okay? Because the Dynatrace license is very costly. And
Mm-hmm.
why we should waste that only with infra mode? Because it will not monitor your database, okay? How that application is getting monitored. It will monitor only your infra mode, that is monitor your CPU, memory, network, and disk, and along with that process, okay? They are not going to in depth in your in a database, okay? Are you getting my point?
Okay, so they are just capturing the traffic which is coming, the data which is coming from the DB. They are not particularly injecting any agent in DB and monitoring its
Yeah.
columns and tables.
Yeah, there, if it a transaction happen, automatically it'll capture. But in DB, if you install the agent, then it will monitor only your infra mode. So let's discuss. Let's you understand. There is two types of mode. Okay, one is infra mode. Okay, so the agent will install as a two types of mode. One is infra mode. One is full stack mode. Okay. So if you install the agents as an infra mode, then it will monitor only infra means infra metrics, right? So CPU, memory, network, disk, and process. Full stack means complete, end to end. Infra plus application, end to end.
Okay.
Okay, there are two types of mode. Okay, so if you management, yeah, your client, the customer allowed to install the agents on DB server, that you have to install the agents on the infra mode only. You cannot install the agent full stack mode. But on the
Okay. And
web server and app server, you can install the agents as a full stack mode. So it will capture all those things.
okay.
Now,
And just for knowledge purpose, is there any, I mean, is the provision available uh, for full stack mode on DB? I mean,
no, no,
that,
no. Still, there is because we are the NTA does not allow you to insert. There is no way to insert your agent, because see, if you install the agent full stack mode, that JavaScript agent will be inserted on your application HTML code. Okay, application HTML code. Okay, that will inject that JavaScript tag. So whenever traffic hit, and then it will capture the information. But in full stack mode in database, they are not going to insert the agents on inside the database. Okay, just on top of the server it is installed. Okay, so it will fetch your information as a CPU, memory, network, disk, and process. They won't fetch you the info. But if transaction happen, then automatically it will fetch the information, because we have installed on the application layer, we have installed the agents on. I'll show you one second. So easy travel. So this is the two web server, you can say, right? Now this is the application, okay, running on two web server. Okay, so these are the service, right? This is a customer front end, some service we do have. Now, so one service, this service is connected with this service, yeah, this service, this service. So if it is going to database, it will store in database. You can see. So it is went here, then went out. But this information is going to store in DB also. It will capture your DB information also. If you want to see the database statement, you can see the database statement. All those things. But we are not installing the agents on DB. So how that service flow looks like. Hope you are hope you are clear now. Somewhat.
Yeah, yeah.
So all the statement will capture, and based on that matrix, you can go inside that. If there is an error, a statement details, pure paths. If you want to see all those things, so how many requests are coming on this one? So if you want to see every transaction, okay, every transaction. Hope you understood about that pure path. You heard about that, right? So
Mm-hmm.
this are that how it is coming. So this is service review and request coming on this one. Process consuming this one, process by this one, service type, coach technology, all the information we will capture. So each and every transaction is getting captured. Okay. Whenever is went to if I'll go into this here. No, this is yeah, so these are the request totals on this statement. A total count is 269 requests per minute. Request count is total 3.25 from from last 2 hours. So this many details. If you want to, if there is a failure, then you can click on details of failure. If it is in there is an outlier, they will allow you, give you some much information in this. But we are not going to install the agents on the DB, but it will capture all the information. If transaction went to is going to store in database, there's some information. So these are the you can see, right? So this number of records from this time, so all the information you can get it. Execution time, total execution, the total time, response time, slowest failure. There's no failure. That's fine. So same way we can capture the data. Okay. Now you understood somewhat, right? So
Okay.
so this is the ActiveGate. So ActiveGate you need to install on dedicated VM. Okay. Dedicated VM means it should you should have that minimum two virtual CPU, 4 GB RAM, and 2 GB disk. Now I will give you some more insight on ActiveGate.
So, just one other question. The active gate is should be installed on a machine which is similar to application server box, but not having any application installed or the service
Huh,
running on it, right?
yeah, this is
Just an empty box, very
yeah,
similar to
hi,
in same
yeah.
subnet.
Huh. So just like we can say, this is a new fresh VM. Okay, fresh virtual machine. Okay, is the same subnet, and we need to. So you can go and run the ActiveGate commands over there. It is Windows, yeah, Linux, both. This is supporting both. You can go, you can install the ActiveGates, and once it is connected, then you can open the ports, all those things. So already you will be before installing itself, right? You are informing to that application cloud team, AWS Azure team, to open the port. So source and destination IP you need to give to them. Once they have given you have given to them, they will open the port. You are going to install the ActiveGate. Once it is installed automatically, that depends how you for which purpose you are installing. Okay, so whenever you see, so if I'll go
Hmm.
now you they have simplified a lot of things recently.
So,
If I'll
so I
go,
have like four application servers, okay,
mm-hmm,
and they are in private network. So those machines IPs are not accessible from like any desktop. Okay, you just can't RDP them from anywhere. So to access them, there
mm-hmm,
is one jump box machine which has a public IP, right?
mm.
So
Jump
we
server. Yeah,
log
you can
yeah
Bastion
jump
server.
server.
Yeah, Bastion
Yeah,
server.
so we will log on to that jump server, and
Mm.
from there we can connect to those application servers.
The
So I'm trying
next,
to understand. So if that active gate is the ideal, that jump server is the ideal place for active gate, or do we require another machine after the jump server?
after the jump server, you should have the same network. You should have one more VM to install that environment. In jump server itself, you cannot install that activate.
Any issues with installing active gate in jump server?
Yeah, why? Because this is dedicated for see jump server. What we are using to connect the VMs. Okay, right.
Mm-hmm.
You are logging to the bash. You can some people call as a bastion server and some is called as a jump server. Okay, in jump server you are logging to the jump server. From that server you are connected different VMs, right? You are logging to that SSH you are doing, and you are logging to different VMs, right? So
Okay.
that is connecting to the different machines. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
in that, so in jump server itself you cannot install the environment activity. This is connecting to, so
Okay.
sometimes they'll restart something, they will do it, right? So that you cannot allow everyone to log into environment and do some activity, right? So because environment, suppose you are doing that some traffic consolidation and one traffic compression, okay, that for that purpose a memory profiling a synthetic you are doing some of the regions, someone has shut down the jump server, yeah, something they did by mistake, they have restarted the one agent the environment active gate service, anything, okay, they did that affect your environment active gate, then you will be complete data will get lost, right? So nobody will
Okay.
allow you. So
It should not be. I mean, it should not be even restarted ever.
why you will restart environment activate once it is installed? Environment and is the dedicated VM, the fresh VM. You cannot go and do a lot of configurations over there. Just to install the environment activate, and because once you configure, they will all the traffic will goes to. You can see if you are installing route one agent traffic, Dynatrace to call. So if you want to route one agent traffic, monitor cloud environment, monitor remote technology with extension, I should go with this step. Okay.
No, okay, okay. I'm just trying to understand the reason behind it. Okay, I'm
Hmm.
just saying it. I'm not going to restart it by myself or manually. Okay, for example, it is hosted on AWS. Okay,
Hmm.
and these are EC2 machines.
Hmm.
Now, since they are all in private IP, things might happen. There are some changes or things like that, or the EC2 machines get refreshed or changed by AWS on a say annual something like
See,
reboot or
if
maintenance practice.
anything get rebooted and maintenance, there will be some downtime, right? If you are if you are rebooting environment activities, surely if you will inform to application your customers, application it is you are using your product in your team or itself, yeah, you are using the product for some of the customers, you are going to
Mm-hmm.
inform them, right? That environment activity will restart during this time to this time, and so all the traffic will be, so you won't see any data or something like that in your diary because the traffic is getting routed, right? So that again you have removed this part, you cannot went to the interest portals, you cannot see the data, there will be blank, right? So there you can say there is a half an hour maintenance window, so you can going to restart that environment activate your server, a server you are going to restart anything reboot in non-business hour, right? You are not going to do all those things in business hour, so it happens sometime once upon a time, every 3 months or 6 months or 1 year, but you're not going to do
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
every
But
year.
only understanding is once we restart, is it something like the data will get lost forever?
Yeah, because you are not going to connect, right? So that's why the people are doing restart for 10 minutes or 15 minutes for because see, just you think if Dynatrace server went down, yeah, are you able to see any data in your Dynatrace? No, right? For
No, no.
during
I
that
mean,
time.
so all the dashboards I created and I mean, data will get removed. That I understand. But dashboards or custom chart that I have created,
See,
I have to
everything will
create
be,
it again.
no, everything will be saved. Okay, whatever in portal that you have created and saved, already it will be saved. Suppose 15 minutes I have a downtime to install to reboot the environment active gate. So that 15 minutes data, okay, okay,
Mm-hmm.
data you cannot see in Dynatrace portal, like inside the dashboard. Suppose this is the dashboard, right?
Okay.
So if I'll take application demo, suppose this dashboard is taking, right? So if I'm taking last 30 minutes, okay, yeah, otherwise you can take a custom also. So in 30 minute data, Suppose they have 30 minutes from now. So now is 8:50. So 8:30 I have given the downtime. Okay. So 8:30 to 9, that environment activate is not available. Okay. They are restarting. Okay. So this 30-minute data I will see here, right? It will show as a blank, nothing.
Right. Okay,
This,
okay. So that's it. I mean, only the data for that particular time window will be lost,
huh,
which makes sense, not the
yeah,
dashboards and
nothing.
everything.
Any, but that also only application data, not your infra data. Infra will be install the agents, right? So
Mm-hmm.
it will show, but application data and all those things, it will show as a blank.
Mm-hmm. So, say in AWS or Azure, when we reboot a private IP, the IPs got changed because it is not a static IP. So, would that make an effect on the existing installed agents? Because only the IP is getting changed, nothing else. Machine is same, everything is same.
Nothing. There is no, because see, same way. That's why I told you, right? Whenever we are giving, so now you said that correct question. Now that's what I told in the architecture, that FQDN, right? Whenever that IP get changed, right? The server IP get changed, yeah, from the here also that IP get changed. That's why I used to provide fully qualified domain name.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, to open the port, all those things. Okay, because machine itself will be same, right? Machine will be same,
Right.
right? And that IP will get changed, right? So once you will get the IP change, why, that's why I told you, no, we used to provide to in cloud team, that AWS Azure team, they used to open the port with the FQDN address, okay, not with the help of IP. Okay, so if you give them IP, they can find the fully qualified domain name, and so all the IP should be pointing to one domain. Okay, and that domain
Mm-hmm.
itself they will open the port.
Okay.
Okay, are getting, so IP gets in, that will not impact your system, right? If suppose if I install the agent, okay, I'm installing the agents, and some of the person has opened this port. Okay, I have given this IP to whitelisted to, okay.
Mm-hmm.
If, and some, once upon a time after their upgrade or something, this IP may change. This is a dynamic. This is not a static, right? This will be dynamic. It may change, right? May not change. Okay. If this get change, so definitely there will be some different IP. But all those IP is pointing to one FQDN. Okay.
Right.
That is called as a fully qualified domain name. Okay. So that's what we are giving, used to give to open the port with the help of fully qualified domain name, not IP. That is the best practice, you can say. Okay. So
Okay.
hope this architecture you understood.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty much.
Okay. Tomorrow I'll discuss on the managed architecture. In managed, there is so many things that even I haven't discussed that HA, high availability. I will tell you tomorrow on this high availability, all those things on
Mm-hmm.
manage architecture. Okay, I'll
Sure.
send you,
Sure.
if you need this document, I'll send it to you.
Yeah. Yeah. Please. Please. So
Okay.
this is one consolidated PPT or separate? Separate.
I will give the separate. I have some PPT because the Dynatrace they have changed a lot of things. Okay, lot of things they have changed port, all those things. So old PPT I don't want to share because you will get confusions or something.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the latest one. I'll give you that.
Sure. Sure.
Okay then. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.